Hey everybody, welcome to Get Booked. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Sam. And today we are going to talk about
sports. Woo! So our square is sports, which is, I'm really good at this. Oh, there it is. Yep. So some of the ones that we're going to talk about do multiple squares, so. Alright, what you got for us?
Right? Yeah, okay, so my first one is Ready Player One. So sports do not have to be the traditional definition. So today there's so much popularity with esports, and video games are really competitive and stuff. I really think that they are a sport. So Ready Player One by Ernest, Cline totally fits into our sports category. You can exercise your mind with puzzles and interactive gaming. So Wade, our main character, finds himself in the ultimate competition. With some help from some unexpected friends, Wade will attempt to finish the wildest race of his life. Set in a world of virtual reality, we seem to lose sight of where the game ends and reality starts. Can Wade survive this competition and make both worlds a better place? I don't know. You'll have to read the book. There's also a sequel, and the movie was pretty good.
Yes. That was for sure.
That's where it's going to live.
Alright. My first book is The Walk On by John Feinstein. John Feinstein does write a lot of sports books, so he's a good author to check out. This is part of a trilogy. It's the first book, and it is called The Walk On. I think I said that twice. Okay. Oh well. So the tagline is "May the best quarterback win," and Alex is an awesome sports guy, big jock, and he's used to kind of, having a lot of starring roles. But his family moves, and he's forced to kind of start over. And at the new school, the varsity already has a star quarterback, and that star quarterback is the coach's son. So, yikes.
That's awkward.
That's awkward. It does not go well. The coach's son does not want to give up his spot. Alex may or may not be better. So there's some school, there's some kind of bullying because, if you take the coach's son's spot, it doesn't make you the most popular guy in school. So Alex kind of has to figure out how far he's willing to go to earn his spot on the team and how much he wants to hang out with his teammates.
It's a tough choice.
It is.
Alright. So, middle school can be hard, right?
Yes.
Let's be real.
You could not pay me to go back to middle school.
I know. There's not enough money in the world. The Breakaways by Cathy G. Johnson is a graphic novel about how important it is to try new things. Because you'll never know how good it is until you try it, or how bad, in some cases. So Faith is absolutely horrible at it, but she joins the soccer team. She may be the C team of soccer, but that's okay. The team is really where the whole story takes off, and so it's like team bonding and friendships and unexpected ragtag group of people. Like, I think that putting yourself out there and taking chances is a great way to form bonds with others because you'll never know who you'll meet, and they may be super different and cool.
It's true. Yeah, that is true. Alright, my next is Be Not Far From Me by Mindy McGinnis. This is about a group of older teenagers who they go into the woods, they have this big forest near their house, and they go into the woods for a party. And they're drinking. And one of the girls, Ashley discovers her boyfriend making out with his ex-girlfriend. That goes terribly wrong. They have a big fight. She is under the influence, runs away, ends up falling down a cliff. The next morning she wakes up, she has no idea where she is. She's hurt pretty badly, and she has no idea how to get home, how to even start processing how to find her way back. And the supplies that she had when she came in are now back at the campsite, and so she really has nothing. So it's a survival story and a hiking story, and there are some gruesome parts. This is one you read in one sitting because you have to figure out what happens and if she gets out and all the other things. And there are so many questions, and it was so good.
So everybody should take emergency survival and first aid. Right?
Yes.
That's what we all should do.
And she knows a lot of this stuff because they grew up near the forest, so they know a lot. But, Mother Nature sometimes has different ideas.
Yeah,
and you get
super
hurt,
unpredictable.
And that, it's just, yeah.
prepared for anything.
Yes.
Alright. After the Shot Drops by Randy Ribay is a really important story about how much you're willing to risk for your friendships. So Bunny's family financials, they're not doing so well. So when he gets an offer to go to an exclusive prep school in a different neighborhood on scholarship to play basketball, he basically has no choice. He has to say yes, right?
Yeah.
So Bunny feels that this is the best choice for his family, for his future, and for his sport. But his best friend Nasir doesn't seem too convinced. As Bunny's life seems to be getting better and better, he's getting more opportunities and making new friends, Nasir still feels stuck with the same old stuff in the same neighborhood and stuff with his family. So it's a story about dreams, the future, and friendship. This one got me really, really good at the end. So you should be prepared to shed some tears.
All the feels.
Yeah, it was, What do you, right
No.
there. I
You're
can't
way
really
better
reach.
at like
I don't know what I'm
figuring
doing.
out where these are.
It's because I'm so good at Sudoku. I don't know.
Alright, my next one is Racing Savannah by Miranda Kenneally. This is set in the 100 Acres, not series, but setting. She has a bunch of books set in the same town. Most of those books are sports books. I think there are 2 that are not sports books. But this one is about horses. So if you're a horse person like I am. So Racing Savannah, Savannah works at the stables at the Goodwin family farm. And it's set in, I want to say it's like a Tennessee story. So like there's a lot of good horse breeding, or maybe it's Kentucky. I can't remember. It's one of those towns that's like really big into horses. She wants to become a jockey. That's
Super
her dream.
cool. So different.
It is different.
I
So
don't hear that often.
you don't, and you don't see a lot of lady jockeys either,
Mm-mm.
which is interesting because like jockeys
And
weigh
it's
like
smaller,
nothing.
yeah.
So, anyways, Savannah is working at the stables. She meets or falls into a friendship with the Goodwin family son Jack. They're not supposed to have like relationships or moments, but they of course do. So it's part of her trying to figure out where her future is, maybe where her romance is going, and if she's ever going to become a jockey. So really great. I love Miranda Kenneally's books. They're super good.
Alright. So this is Winger by Andrew Smith, and it was one of the funnier books that I read in the recent years. So Ryan Dean, that's his full first name. So it's Ryan Dean West, I think, right? Yeah. He is a 14-year-old junior at a rich kid boarding school. So, like, that's not normal, right?
No.
You heard that right. He is the youngest one in his grade. And in high school, that's definitely some kind of weird problem. So Ryan Dean plays on the varsity rugby team. And I will say, I knew nothing about rugby until I read this book. I probably still don't know very much about rugby. So.
But you know more than the
More
person
than
who hasn't read the book.
exactly. So, listening to Ryan Dean narrate his experiences through private high school, talking to girls, and getting bullied, which includes swirlies, even though he's supposed to be on the same team with these guys, and they're supposed to, look after each other, it really proves to be I feel like it's an authentic story. I laughed through many parts of the book, and I think that anyone who likes something funny about growing up will enjoy it, and there is a sequel. This is currently on Sam's Picks in the teen room, so that's like the top of one of the bookshelves. You'll see the side.
That is true. We do have same specs. Alright, my last one is Break the Fall by Jennifer Iacopelli. This is a really interesting and timely topic. So this is about a girl, Audrey Lee, who's going to the Olympics in gymnastics. The Olympics are they're like 2 weeks or a month away. She's been recovering from spinal surgery, so she's kind of making a comeback. And as these things happen, so she's making her comeback, she gets the news that she makes the team, and then the news story breaks that there's somebody in the coaching staff, and I can't remember who it is, but there's somebody on the coaching staff who has been abusing the girls. So taken from real life, ripped from the headlines, as we say, Audrey... It hasn't happened to Audrey, but looking back at moments, she's like, oh, that could have gone differently. Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe this is what something was going to happen. So there's some very interesting moments internally in her head. There's a lot of pressure on her because the Olympics. And all of the girls are kind of dealing with this. So in gymnastics, you have like the team sport part, but you also have the individual sport. So you're a team, and then you're not, and you're competing, but then you're friends. And what are all the other girls on the team thinking and processing? And so it's a really internal, but also very sporty story. So
it's a really difficult dynamic.
It is, and it's one. It does make you a little angry because you know, obviously, but it was also really, really good. And Jennifer has an ice skating story coming out next. I'm excited for that one. All right, so there you have it. There are our squares. Who knows what we'll talk about next week?
Get
Get that.